called wise men because they had discernment and they engaged spiritual principles. Because not all headsmen of those days could see the star. They were called wise men because they engaged spiritual principles. Now, let me explain that part to you. In those days in Israel, every city or every territory had one exit and one entry. They had one exit. If you remember Jericho in Joshua chapter 6 verse 1, he said Jericho was greatly shut up. None went out, none came in. So every city, because they were trying to make it a territorial operation, they were trying to guard their city because of the enemies and avoid invasion. So every city was fenced round. You cannot get in. And that was why when the two spies sneaked into Jericho, the king knew in the palace. Because from the gate, they made a report to the king. So there were no exits other than the main entry. That's where you come in through, that's where you go out through. So when the wise men came to see Pharaoh, to see Herod rather, to say, we had a dream or a revelation that a child was born, they had to pass through the entry, which was also the exit. Are you following my explanation? Yeah. But the Bible says when they were done, and they told Pharaoh this is what they saw, and when they saw the child, God knew Pharaoh would kill them before they spread the news, and God made them pass through another way. There was only one exit and one entry. What was the other way? The problem many of us have, why we don't see the finger of God, is because we have tried to stereotype God, that God must pass through this way to bless us. But God said there is. There are people programmed and people around our lives that we think God has to pass through. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 30 verse 21, it said, thou shalt hear a voice behind thee, and it shall say, this is the way, walk ye in it. In Isaiah 43 verse 19, God gave us an assurance that He will make a way in the wilderness and rivers. In 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13, the Bible said there has no temptation seized you but that which is common to man. But God is faithful. Somebody say God is faithful. You see, when I look at that verse, I pick out that word, God is faithful. He said God is faithful. Listen to this. Who will with that temptation, with that temptation, make a way of escape with the temptation. So the temptation comes as a platform for your escape. In Psalm 124, verse 7, the Bible says, our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowler. The snare is broken. In Psalm 25, if you read verse 15, it says, my eyes are ever toward the Lord, for He shall pluck my feet in the name that's above every other name. God will pluck your feet out of the net.